Brazil nearly got knocked out by Japan before Carlo Ancelotti pulled off another tactical masterclass. Germany have just been eliminated from the World Cup in the most embarrassing fashion possible. And Julian Nagelsmann's reign is officially over. Matheus Cunha had the strangest meltdown of the tournament, taunting a Japanese striker with World Cup trophies he never even won. And Morocco just won the most chaotic penalty shootout in football history, including an own goal during the shootout itself. This is an absolutely insane recap. Let's get into it. Let's start with an absolutely brilliant match. Brazil against Japan. Japan's depleted, injury-hit squad gave the five-time champions an enormous fight. In the first half, Japan were genuinely the better team and deserved their lead. Their defensive organization and concentration were so good that Brazil couldn't even threaten the box. Japan were blocking crosses, closing every passing lane. Remarkable considering Japan's fullbacks are converted attacking wingers, not natural defenders. Brazil created literally nothing in the entire first half, not even a half chance. Then the second half happened. Vinicius drifted into a wider position. Endrick came on the right side, stretching Japan's defense even further. Brazil started overloading the left and constantly switching the ball flank to flank. Japan, exhausted from the tactical discipline of the first half, simply couldn't track the runners anymore. Vinicius escaped Tomiyasu's marking completely. Brazil equalized through a cross finished by Casemiro, and then late in the match, Martinelli scored after a gorgeous pass from Guimarães and a costly error from Tanaka. Japan deserve enormous respect. Yes, they're eliminated, and yes, at an early stage. But given their injury crisis and the average level of individual talent in the squad, this was a heroic group stage campaign. And after the match, Japanese fans stayed behind in the stadium to clean up. Not just their own section, but the Brazilian fans section too. Class. But here's where it gets bizarre. Before the match, Japan's forward Kenta Suyama gave an interview where he said, "Brazil used to be strong, but what about now? I feel like France and Argentina are the strong ones right now. I haven't heard much about Brazil lately. This isn't the Neymar of before. I think we're playing well right now." Not exactly flattering, but honestly, nothing outrageous either. Just an honest opinion. That was apparently enough for Matheus Cunha to go looking for Suyama after the final whistle and hold up 5 fingers, referencing Brazil's 5 World Cup titles. Genuinely strange moment. Because Cunha has 0 World Cup trophies to his name, Brazil themselves haven't won anything yet either. They've simply reached the round of 16, not won the tournament. Suyama never even claimed Brazil were historically weak. He just gave his honest read on the current squad. Cunha didn't stop there. He shouted about the 5 World Cups and reportedly called Suyama small. After the match, he posted a humble beast lyric on social media captioned, "Never above anyone, but never below anyone either. Now you know a little more about us." Genuinely, one of the most cringeworthy moments of this entire tournament. Now to the biggest story of the tournament. And I want to be clear, this isn't clickbait. Germany have been eliminated from the World Cup by Paraguay on penalties. Since the 2014 World Cup win, Germany have now gone 0 wins in knockout football at a World Cup. And up until 2018, they had only failed to reach the quarterfinals once in their entire history. This is a genuine historic collapse. Paraguay were aggressive, borderline overly physical at times, and referees let a lot slide. But that's not an excuse for Germany, because Paraguay actually outplayed them on clear-cut chances. 3-2. Completely unacceptable for a team of Germany's pedigree. The bigger issue is predictability. Block the center and Germany have no answer. They simply don't know how to break down defenses that are organized better than Curaçao's. Their attack devolved into aimless crosses with no other ideas. Part of the problem is squad selection. Germany lack genuine top-tier wingers. Leroy Sané has never been consistent, and it's genuinely unclear why Nagelsmann even called him up for this tournament. At this World Cup, plenty of teams are defending deep and compactly. and top nations need more than hopeful balls into the box to break them down. This is officially the end for Julian Nagelsmann at international level. And it's a bitter end for a coach who is genuinely excellent, just clearly not suited to international management. This was being said even before the Euros, where Germany somehow performed reasonably, emphasis on somehow. But now the pressure is undeniable. Public opinion won't allow the federation to keep him, and we all know who's waiting in the wings. The German Federation have wanted Jurgen Klopp for a long time. This is the moment. After a disaster of this magnitude, keeping Nagelsmann simply isn't possible. Expect him back in club football, and Klopp finally taking the German national team job. Here's the thing. This Germany team never actually looked like champions throughout the group stage, even when they were winning. Yes, there's individual talent. Look at the attacking midfielders available to this squad. But there's no consistency. A strong performance followed immediately by a poor one. They have a clear, functional system, but they lack the willingness to sacrifice that system and adapt when a match demands it. Nagelsmann has now managed for a while, and there's continuity from Hansi Flick and Joachim Löw before him, similar approaches across multiple cycles. But none of these teams have had anything close to the unity that Löw's 2014 World Cup winning squad possessed. Gary Lineker actually criticized this team before they were even eliminated, calling it one of the weakest German sides he's ever seen. Germany failed to escape the group stage in 2 consecutive tournaments before this one. This is a team living off past glory. According to Bild, there are also serious dressing room issues. Nagelsmann reportedly barely communicates with his players outside of training sessions. Several players complained to journalists that the coach kept them completely in the dark before matches. Players were genuinely shocked when Nagelsmann publicly said he'd make only minor changes to the squad against Ecuador. And then in the final training session before that match, he was rehearsing an attacking trio of Florian Wirtz, Leroy Sané, and Maximilian Bayer, only to start Jamal Musiala instead of Bayer anyway. After the match, Nagelsmann claimed he simply wanted to give everyone a chance. Genuinely confusing decision-making throughout. Nagelsmann is undeniably a brilliant tactician, but he struggles badly with the emotional and relational side of management. He had similar friction with senior players at Bayern Munich, including Manuel Neuer. National team football requires genuine unity and trust. And Germany simply don't have it right now. The responsibility for that largely sits with Nagelsmann. And finally, let's talk about the wildest ending to a match this World Cup has produced. Ronald Koeman set the Netherlands up with 5 defenders against Morocco. The country that essentially invented total football and the 4-3-3 system, playing with a back 5. Koeman said it was out of respect for the opponent. I'd call it fear, personally. Morocco didn't care. They dictated the entire match. Constant pressure, wave after wave of attacks for 120 minutes. The only reason the Netherlands didn't lose by 2 or 3 goals in normal time was Bart Verbruggen, who was outstanding throughout the entire group stage and continued that form here. Midway through the second half, classic football logic played out. If you don't score, you get scored on. Memphis Depay showed his quality, fought to retain possession under pressure, and set up Gakpo, who finished his chance. But the Netherlands couldn't hold the lead. Morocco equalized quickly. And once again, Van Dijk lost an aerial duel he should have won at his height. Extra time. More Moroccan pressure. More Verbruggen heroics. And then the match descended into what might be the most chaotic penalty shootout in football history. 3 shots off the woodwork. 1 own goal. Yes, somehow during a penalty shootout, Verbruggen scored an own goal. Think about that for a second. Have you ever seen anything like that at a tournament of this magnitude? Genuine drama right to the final kick. And ultimately, the team that deserved it, the team that actually played football, won. Yassine Bounou is simply a goalkeeper of a different level, a master of the biggest occasions. He didn't even need to produce miracle saves in the shootout. He won the psychological battle, in a similar way to how Emiliano Martinez did in the previous World Cup final. Morocco through. Congratulations to them. Fully deserved. The Netherlands, despite having a genuinely strong and balanced squad, once again failed to deliver a major result on the biggest stage. And here's a fun final detail. The German mathematician who has correctly predicted every World Cup winner in recent memory, he predicted the Netherlands to win this tournament. Well, that prediction is officially dead. That's everything for World Cup. Brazil surviving a Japan scare thanks to more Ancelotti magic. Germany eliminated in genuine disgrace. Cunha embarrassing himself with a bizarre five-fingers taunt. And Morocco winning maybe the craziest penalty shootout in football history. Drop a comment. Do you think Klopp takes the Germany job next? Subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.